you. You're finally awake.
How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. So today we are checking out something new, something different, not a Marvel Legends, not a Black Series. I know that's the usual thing, but I try to change it up when there's something I really want. And this figure I really wanted. It is from XESRAY Studios. It's my first experience with them. It was the 2025 event exclusive, and I've had it on pre-order from Big Bad Toy Store. They finally got it. It is Gold's Hildr from the Combatants Fight for Glory line. Super hyped to check out this figure. So with all that being said, let's take a closer look at the box and we'll get this bad girl open.
Then, one day, I woke up a nymphoid barbarian in dinosaur.
Taking a look at the front slip cover. It says Combatants Fight for Glory. Exclusive on this side, Gold Hildr on this side, XESRAY up there at the top. And then it says Event 2025. Once you get the slipcover off, it says Exclusive Combatant Fight for Glory Gold Hildr once again. Figure is visible in the window. A lovely shot of said figure on this side. Another wonderful shot with a blurb. It says Gold Hildr, Mercenary, Gladiator, Ethic Germanic. Hildr is the daughter of Brandthok. Her father left her when she was very young. When she learned that her father was seeking to meet her, she had no desire to see him and instead went out of her way to avoid him. Hildr inherited her father's robust physique and made a living as a mercenary. Occasionally, she would fight alongside the Romans against the Germanics to avoid being targeted for revenge. On the battlefield, she would dye her hair red and disguise herself as a Celtic before engaging in combat. Additionally, she would sometimes work as a gladiator to earn more money. With her thick and golden locks, she earned the nickname Gold Hildr. So there's a little backstory on this character. That's really cool. They gave her a whole history. Shot of the whole backside once again. Well, not the whole backside. On this side, Combatant Fights for Glory. Says Event 2025 on the top. Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff on the bottom. And with all that being said, let's get this bad girl open. There she is out of the cardboard prison. So before we actually start the review, I wanted to make note that there's a few issues starting out. So you take her stuff off. Clearly I got all of her armor off. There's some scuffs from where the armor was sitting on her. There's also a mark on her neck from taking the head sculpt off. So be careful with that. I don't know if you need to heat them up or what, but they're supposed to just slide on and off, and that's why she doesn't have any clothes on, because I wanted to go through that when we do the whole video. But that's just an issue I wanted to point out before we really get into it, because this is right off the bat, so kind of sucks. I don't know how to get that off. I don't want to use acetone or anything. So here is a look at Hildr without all her accessories on. We're going to put those on during the accessory segment. But as you can see, you could use this as a blank body. Yes, she's naked underneath there with like sculpted stuff, which is always a little crazy in my opinion, but you know, certain people want that. And this is an awesome figure. Not too much detail when there's not stuff on her, but you can see the hair is sculpted beautifully. She has a very pretty face sculpt. It works well. We got those braids in the front. She's got some assets there. Her bikini has got some painting on it. She got the underoos on. Very even skin tone, but there, like I showed you earlier, there are some scuffs down her body from taking pieces off, like right there on the leg. That is unfortunate, and I don't like that. Swappable parts for feet without the boots on. So there's all kinds of details about this figure that we're going to get into as we go along. So there's really not much to talk about with her. Well, I have to say it, she's undressed, but still a very nice feeling figure. Probably one of the best feeling figures I've had in a while, just for the plastic quality and the articulation and all that stuff. She feels really good. And yeah, the skin tone is pretty even. There's no like wash on it or anything. So it's pretty consistent throughout. So those blemishes from the accessories coming on and off kind of take some points away, but she still looks amazing. Checking out her height, she stands at about just under 6¼ inches. Now getting into accessories. So, well, no, articulation, not accessories, articulation. what am I doing? So starting at the head, her head goes forward pretty far, not back because of course the sculpt gets in the way, but there is good forward movement. Shoulders come up 90 degrees. There is a slight butterfly in there, although it's not very visible. Single hinge that comes in pretty decently. We get a peg on the wrist for lots of articulation. Chest comes forward and backward. There is no waist articulation, so that's pretty limited, unfortunately. Legs come forward to the side. If you go up too far, they kind of come off the peg, so be careful with that. Double knees with no butt kicking action. She can't quite make it. We'll see, there goes the leg, unfortunately. Let's get that back on there. There you go, no problem. Coming down to the toes, there is a ball joint. She also has lots of cake, like lots of cake. So if that's something you're looking for in a figure, well, Gold Hildr has it in spades. So nothing too crazy on the articulation, but the plastic does feel good. You do get a nice range of movement despite the single joints on the arm. And yeah, she's a very beautiful looking figure. I like her a lot. All right, it's accessory time, and she does come with quite a bit of accessories. We'll start with the stuff that you don't particularly need to like put on her first. We get this axe, which has a wonderful sculpt, wonderful paint job. We've got some wrap there in the middle, and it comes down to gold at the hilt, or not at the hilt, at the end. So that is very nice. It's very lovely. Axe. We get this sword and scabbard, which once again, sculpted, painted beautifully. Sword comes out. It's not too brittle. It's not too soft. So it just goes in there nicely. There is a tab there on the back to peg into her waist here, which we will put on. Some Germanic kind of Celtic details sculpted in there. We got some chainmail, we've got some cloth, we've got some leather with a sheath and a removable knife, which is very cool. Lots of nice paint details. We've got the fur trim, we've got the gold buckles, all that stuff is painted beautifully. She has a helmet, which does fit on her, and you may be like, well, how does it fit on with the hair? So you just kind of scalp her a little bit, but they didn't make it hideous, so you could kind of display her like that if you wanted to as well, and it just fits on there like that. So we'll start with that as far as the accessories for putting on her, and then I'll probably kit her up afterwards. But yeah, that is the top of her head right there, her hair. So that comes off very easily, no problem. This is for around her waist. It's got some claws, some teeth on there. It's just kind of a section to the belt. We get a hand axe or a hatchet, also sculpted and painted beautifully. Sheath, handle, all different textures and layers. This is a leg wrap that goes around her right thigh, just kind of brown plastic there. This is a thigh guard, which I believe it goes around her left leg. So we get one of those. Then we get 2 foot wraps for her left and right leg, obviously. So I'm assuming this is left and this is right. I don't know, I'll have to figure it out. We get a bracer for her arm, sculpted, painted wonderfully. We get bracers for her hands. One is kind of chainmail, the other is more leather with some straps, fur on both. And then we get swappable feet for sandals to put on with those bracers or the leg wraps. And then we get some hands. Not too many hands, but enough hands. Open hands, fists, posing hands, all kinds of good stuff. So that is her accessories. Let me get her all put together. I almost forgot she has this soft goods cloak, and you have to clip it together. It's actually 2 segments. So I think that this goes around the front and the longer part goes around the back. I think that's how that works. So yeah, let me get everything on her. Let me show y'all real quick how you get the torso pieces back on. So you just kind of tear her in half and then that slips right over there. That slips right over top of that. And then you just pop her chest back together. And that is how you get that section on. I figured I would show y'all. That seems like something you might want to know. And to get the leg bracers on, you pop her feet off and then you swap on the sandaled feet if you can pick them up, which I surely can't. And then you peg those in there. Just, you know, try not to force them. You just wiggle them a little bit. I say that as it doesn't go on. But you don't want to break this. There's no extra pegs or anything. There we go, I think. Yeah. So that just goes on like that. I'm going to say the worst part of putting her together is trying to get the sword on. It will not go in. So this is soft plastic and this is soft plastic. The thing about trying to put soft plastic into soft plastic is it doesn't really work. Also, the hair is attached to my finger and won't go away. So like, I kind of give up on the sword. Yeah, I definitely give up on that sword. There's like no way. I'd have to heat it up and I just don't feel like doing that right now. But here she is, all kitted out with the armor at the very least. And she looks fantastic. Let me see, how is this supposed to go on? Let me try to figure this out. Does it just go over like so? Or, I don't know. Someone in the comments will let me know. I'm really not sure how this is supposed to go. I feel like that's right. Like, either way, it's a nice material. First of all, for scale and comparison, here she is with Bro Toys Kratos and Frazetta Girls Conan. And I'll say that I feel like she scales absolutely perfectly with both of these. Kratos should be the biggest, Conan next, and then her, and yeah, it works. It just works. Here she is with Boss Fight Red Sonja in Mythic Legion's Belualith. Once again, perfectly scaled. Red Sonja can be shorter than her, and they both would fit right together on a shelf, which is where Hildr's gonna go, is next to Conan and Red Sonja and Belualith. So yeah, works out for me. Here she is with Marvel Legends Ulik and Thor, also fudgeable. And lastly, with Romanky Gun Girl and Rowdy Riles. So with all that being said, y'all, I'll say she's totally worth it, because she's totally worth it to me. She was $60, which is not a bad price for everything that you get here. You get a blank buck if you wanted to use it for that. You get all these different swappable accessories. You can use her however you want. And she looks fantastic while doing all of it. Great accessories, great sculpt, great paint. So XESRAY, great first impressions from y'all. I don't have any other figures, but I'm looking forward to getting more. So very impressed with this, so totally worth it to me. If you guys like this video, smash like, hit subscribe if you're new here, become a channel member if you want to go one step further. It's only 99 cents. You get early reviews like this one. Comment, let me know what you think. If you like her, if you want to pick her up, if you don't like her, how your day is going, just say hey, do all that stuff, keep your head up, stay brave, be kind to your local LGBTQ community. If you're protesting, be extra super duper safe. I love y'all. I will see you next time, and bye-bye.
Just wait 1 minute. I'm watching this new Rowdy Riles video and it's really awesome. I don't want to miss it.
It's like this chick that reviews action figures and it's really freaking cool.
Yes, I think they saw some videos and there's some really good contents out there, you know?
She reviews the ponies and stuff because you knows I love ponies.
She doesn't review ponies. It's freaking cool stuff, Toki.